and welcome to Bronick's Reviews. Today we have The Core.
Yes.
So, just a short one, really. It's not so much a review of the film, the new Superman film, just a conversation between me and you. So I went to see it on Saturday. It'd been out for a week at this point. I'd heard fairly good things about it. I'd heard bad things about it initially because it had some bad talk because of certain comments I think that the director had made about it pushing a political angle, which I think rubbed a few people up the wrong way.
Well, kind of about that, from what I've heard, it was less that he'd said that and more like the
Misquoted.
person interviewing was like, oh, is it about immigration? It's like, well, yeah, because it's a story written by immigrants, like the original creators of Superman. So I think he might have been slightly kind of reported on that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not even
how
true.
much you and this reported is up for debate because,
Yeah, it's not even true. I mean, when I actually watched the film, but yeah, I think I've seen James Gunn say that it wasn't something that he was kind of putting out there as such. He's kind of asked the question.
It was more like, oh, don't you think those horrible,
yeah, exactly,
bigots need, basically they were after like a soundbite, so they got one.
Yeah. So anyway, the gist of it is it'd been out for a while. I personally didn't have any interest in seeing any superhero movies other than whatever they do as a follow-up to 2022, the Batman film that Matt Reeves directed, because I really enjoyed that one. But as a general thing, I've just kind of checked out superhero movies since the awakening. I mean, it was a factor before that, but it came in heavy after COVID. I'm not saying it was related to COVID. It was just obviously that's when kind of the world lost its mind a little bit. More so than before, so that infected a lot of the superhero movies. Of course, we've talked about this in the channel before. We don't even have to go down the sort of woke angle, but we're now in what they call the slop era. So you're getting very uninspired, kind of garbage, forgettable films that the only good thing we've got to say about them is, well, at least it's not woke. I'd say this is a little bit above that. I enjoyed this film to a degree. I would say it's good. I wouldn't say it's great. And I think a big hindrance to this film being great is the fact that this is the third iteration of Superman that we've had in movies in the last 20 years. And that's quite a lot, really. Similar to what you said in a previous conversation about the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. If it hadn't been for all the other stuff, could have been good.
It's kind of like when people were rushing to try and, replicate the MCU when it was actually decent. It's like, okay, this kind of built up slowly over time, and it was almost like a bit of an accident. Like, nobody went into that first film thinking like, oh, this is going to be a massive, 20 movie, extravaganza kind of thing. You're going to have to see all of them, and, nobody knew that going in. And by the time people were like, oh, they're all, interlinked and stuff, by the first Avengers movie, they were already committed. Whereas if you just tried to start with that, people were just like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah, there is a degree of that in this Superman film, but it's interestingly done because they call them meta-humans. I know that's not new for this movie, but that's kind of the concept that they go with. So Superman isn't necessarily unique, but it doesn't have the entire DC universe in there. You've just got a Green Lantern, and then there's a few others as well. But the gist of it is Lex Luthor is the main villain in this. And he's kind of doing what you'd expect from Lex Luthor. He's not the kind
of... But he's not giving people jars of piss?
Yeah, what the hell? Nothing to do with my father. That was something else. That was something from Batman v Superman, wasn't it? It was just weird. So it's kind of a shame because, like I said, there was a lot of potential for the Zack Snyder universe, but it was just kind of form over substance. Whereas it feels with this film that there's quite a lot of potential, and if they'd have done this film a few years ago, maybe not done the Zack Snyder stuff, could have got more out of this. Could have been better appreciated. Even if it was the exact same film we've got, we might have appreciated it more. But I think now it's just got a load of baggage to it. Like I said, this isn't a review of the film as such. It's just kind of my thoughts. And I imagine a lot of people have already seen the film by now.
Yeah,
or
I
at
mean,
least
from
not.
what I know, like it has done pretty well. I think it's like it's made like decent money at the box office.
Yeah, not so much internationally, but domestically. And I think domestic is usually the primary thing that they go off as to whether or not it's a success. So I'm not an expert on that, but I've heard mixed things. But yeah, I think the general thing is it's done quite well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of these
Yeah,
films
like to
are,
be clear, I haven't seen it, and I'm not like, oh, I'm like boycotting it. It's just general cinema fatigue with me. I will probably see it at some point.
yeah. I mean, you were always an ASB, antisocial bastard, at the best of times before COVID, but I know since then, you've definitely just checked out of cinema, and I'd love to be able to take the
Yeah,
piss out of you.
well, like you say, just get out of the fucking habit of going, and it's like, well, I'm not getting back into the habit. Like, fuck this.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to be able to take the piss out of you for that and call you the LB, the lazy bastard, and the ASB. But at the same time, I have done a similar thing. I've reduced my cinema going habits,
Mm.
not because of something going on up there in my head, but what I'm seeing with what's been coming out has just been really underwhelming. We'd had bad years in the past with movies, and it doesn't have to all be like one franchise that's no longer like there. So therefore, that was all we ever went to see. Take that away. We don't got the cinema anymore. That's not the case at all. There were plenty of good films, like one-off films that come out, and there's still the odd ones, but I don't know. There's something at the moment with movies just seems really underwhelming, and it was already. I mean, I think it was Critical Drinker maybe was talking about this about, or it might have been the Dave Cullen show talking about catchphrases from movies. So whether it's go ahead, make my day, or whatever, these catchphrases that you know where they're from. There's not really anything like that anymore in movies. I mean, you might get the odd meme out of things, but you don't get like universally recognised catchphrases like you once got because the movies just aren't that memorable. I think that's the main thing I didn't like about this Superman film. It was very forgettable. I mean, visually, it had some quite good like moments in it, and part of me thinks like, no, it's a good film. I'd recommend it, but I can't honestly say that. Um, So yeah, no, I don't think I'll watch whatever follow-ups they do to this. I mean, there's the other aspect of this as well that it just feels like any film that comes out now is just kind of intended to sort of shill you into subscribing to some like pay-per-view, or subscription-based streaming service, which kind of sucks because my thoughts on having franchises that mix cinema movies with TV shows is it works best and most almost exclusively, not completely, but when it's a TV series that then improves itself and promotes itself to the cinema screen, progresses to the cinema screen. So it's going from small to big. What we don't do is the reverse. You don't do movies and then downgrade them to a TV show, which is usually shit anyway. And we always had stuff like that in the past that was laughable, like the RoboCop like movies and TV series and so on. It's like nobody like that liked the movies really thought that the TV series was anything like significant. Whereas like nowadays it's like a common thing. So I think with this starting this movie and then presumably going into a TV show is going to suck. Um, Sometimes you can get away with it, like the Batman. They did a spin-off series of the Penguin, which was actually pretty decent. But they got the main character from the film. They spent a lot of money doing that. It was an obvious TV show, but it was quite good. And I think I didn't mind it too much because I know we're struggling to get a sequel anyway. So it's like, this is all you're going to get. And it kind of works. It's kind of like The Sopranos as well, which is a TV series from the ground up. It's not a movie that then become a TV series. So you've kind of got like an element of that, which kind of works. Other things like The Purge, they were movies that then downgraded to a TV series, but The Purge movies are so kind of low budget compared to a lot of these big films. It kind of works. It's not that big of a downgrade to the TV show. Again, the TV series was good. But a lot of these superhero things, we've got loads of superhero TV shows. We don't need another one that's like been downgraded from movies. That just sucks. I'm not in. for anything like that.
Counterpoint to that, because you have a special like loathing of TV in general.
Not really.
I think it can work, especially if you're trying to. There have been times when things just aren't great for films where you've got to do like, this is part 1 of like 4 to like make this film into what it like actually should be. In that case, like certainly a series on TV can like fit it a lot better because you've got a longer time to like tell the story.
Can do. It depends what it is.
A good case of that is like the Jack Reacher stuff. Like it's a lot easier to like convert a book into a series than it is a book into a film. So you got to cut a lot of stuff out to make it work.
Can do, but it just depends. Depends how it's done. Like I say, I mean, I've given examples.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the RoboCop thing is like that. It was absolute ass. Like it was complete betrayal of like what the fucking thing was supposed to be. Like that is like the absolute worst, like the gold standard of shit.
But we've had other things, like I say, the MCU. I mean, how many TV shows? There's probably more content in TV shows now than there is in movies, and it's like an insult as well to what came before.
Well, I would say that would just try and shield Disney Plus. Like nobody's going to be bothering with this new thing unless we're pumping out constant new content.
Yeah,
and now they've realised, well, shit, we completely oversaturated it. Nobody's interested in our new films because they don't want to watch like 12 TV series before they can go see the film.
Yeah. Same with Star Wars as well.
They value their own shit. But yes, Star Wars as well. Sorry, I'll stop interrupting you.
Yeah, I mean, like Star Wars is like the ultimate cinema experience. What do they do? Turn it into a TV show. And not a good one either. So, although I know some people I'd like The Mandalorian and stuff, but it's not.
I mean, like I say, when it was What's His Face, it's like actually pretty good at this stuff. Like, it was actually pretty decent, but again, they basically just turned to slop.
Yeah, exactly. So the point is, anyway, like I say, if they're doing that with this Superman film and the DC stuff, which I think they are, because then they're doing like a Lanterns TV series or something that they're planning on bringing out for whatever it is, Max or whatever name the channel is nowadays. Not my kind of thing at all. So I was kind of looking at this film as just a social thing, just meeting it with a few friends and just seeing it, so can kind of see how good it is, if at all. But part of me regrets going to see it.
I'll see it eventually. It's just I can't be asked. Like I say, it's also just the thing of like, you go to the cinema. It's like an expensive train trip to get there. You got to pay for the cinema tickets, and you usually want to get something like in the cinema, which is expensive as fuck. And then the film's just like preachy bullshit that you could have done without.
Yeah, and it's quite a commitment.
Like, why did I fucking bother?
Yeah, I mean, part of the reason I didn't mind doing it too much was because I had an extended weekend. So I didn't mind taking all the time out of my day for it. But like you say, it's a good point. I know you could write off what you just said as being a bit lazy and making excuses, but I agree with you. You're spending quite a bit of money and time that, if you're working like 5 days a week or whatever, spending 1 of your 2 days travelling to the cinema and then spending time in the cinema being forced to watch half an hour of adverts and then a film that's way longer than it has to be, and then travelling back, it's like at least half your day gone. And if that film sucks, it's depressing.
Like I said, that's the problem with like the work. Like you're not getting out of the politics of it and all that. I don't want to pay like 12 quid for a train ticket. That again, at least for a cinema ticket. That like 5-6 quid for something to like eat or drink while you're in the fucking cinema. And then you're just getting lectured to for 2 hours about how like terrible a person you are and how you've got to do better. It's like, I'm sorry, I could have some like absolutely fucking intolerable jackass do that like from the comfort of my own home. I just need to go online.
I do it too all the time. I
need to go for a fucking cinema trip to like get that experience. Thanks.
Yeah.
No. And it must suck. Like they've killed fucking cinema. Like, to people who actually own cinema, like, work in cinemas and stuff, like, congratulations, a bunch of twats have, like, destroyed your career. Well done.
And the cinemas seem to be, like, dropping in their standards as well. Like, you go in and there's not much service there anymore when you go in. And also, even, I mean, this kind of really getting off the top of the actual film itself, but when I went to see this, I don't know if there was any aircon on there, but I've never been as uncomfortably hot and sweltering, and it wasn't even that warm of a day as I was in this cinema. It was like really not good. and this was a View cinema in Leeds, The Light. Really not good. So it's stuff like that puts people off going to the cinema. So anyway,
and then again, like say, if you're like failing financially, you're not going to be able to afford to like keep good stuff. You're going to be like cutting down everywhere you can, you know.
Yeah, and
it's kind of the same with comics. Comics have gone like really shit and like useless slop, and it's killing like, you know, comic book stores. It's like it's not their fault. They're not the one making the fucking product.
Yeah, exactly.
They're the one that just, you know, well, we're kind of fucked because they're making shit product and we can't sell it.
Yeah, I'll cut this video short anyway because it's gone a bit longer than I planned. So, but yeah, that's the Superman film. Like I say, it's not terrible. I don't recommend watching it. I don't recommend against. I'm not saying don't watch it, but I can't say yeah, watch it. It's good. You'll enjoy it because I don't know if you will.
I mean, I'll watch it, but then again, I am like the target audience for something like that because I'm a fan of. Even when superhero movies were shit, I still kind of like them because I like superhero movies.
Yeah, exactly. Right, Brandix Reviews. We'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching.